What's good? What's good? Let me go ahead and share screen real quick. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and send this out real quick. Hope y'all are having a blessed day. Let's see. All right. All right. All right. Let's get settled in. Grab your water. Spread the word. Let people know that we are alive. What's good, Bobby? Man, you did London session and New York session? It's crazy. That's crazy. I could have done both. Honestly, I was up that late anyway. Let's see. Let's get more people loaded in before I go ahead and start. You only slept 9 hours the past 3 days? Crazy. That's crazy work. At least you're still here. You're still alive. We got that 4 hour change of character, so that's exciting. It's exciting. That confirms you want to go higher. So can't be upset with that. Just gotta follow the structure, you know? Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? I was just telling Bobik we got that 4 hour change of character. Right? Price broke above these highs on the 4 hour. We got the buy setup, right? The left shoulder, the sweep. We just got the change of character that confirms bullishness for us to go higher. According to this structure right now, so I'm excited about that. Even if you check the line chart, you can see we have a clear inverted right here. We have another one right here as well. And as long as this structure holds, as long as these lows don't get clapped, which they haven't, then there's no reason not to be in buys here unless we see this structure here get closed below with a full body candle. Then we can start looking for some sells because at that point, that's when we'll have a major shoulder and the head, and then we change care. Okay, that would make more sense, and then we catch the cells. But we haven't done that yet. I know we did it in between, right? We had like, oh, shoulder, head, change of character, right? But all that happened right on the buy zone. If there's a sell happening and then right beneath that sell, there's a strong buying zone, then I'm gonna stick to the trend of the market. Not to say that, these buys can't get clapped, like, these can easily get clapped and then price could go lower. Like, the price could go lower to, some of these other zones that we're looking at down here, but right now, I'm not going to make assumptions and assume price will go lower if there hasn't been enough evidence to confirm that. So that's why I'm just going to go ahead and follow the structure. It tells me to buy here. We just got the 4-hour change of character. So that's, to me, that's a very good sign. Like, okay, price wants to continue bullish. When you back test, then you'll also see sometimes we don't always get the pullback that we want. If you look back maybe over here, let's say we draw the fib from these lows to the highs here, price only pulled back to the 236 and continued. Whereas if you look at other examples, let's see, from this low, right, to this high here, you got a nice 618 retracement. So sometimes you may get it, sometimes you won't. Same thing over here. I'm gonna go to the weekly. You're gonna see this. Oh, let me look up here. Right, if I go from these lows here to the highs here, we only got a 382 retracement. So sometimes price comes back and gives you that nasty discount. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes price will just continue to fly from where it is. The best thing that you can do is just watch the structure. Good morning. Good morning. We got Geo, Reggie, Raj. Was good. Was good. And looking at this even closely on a basic level, if you're looking at this level here, this is 19,500. 19,500, it's a whole level. There's 20,000, there's 20,500. So I just marked up the three closest levels that I could see. And if we take a look here, just on a basic level, we have price breaking above 19,500 and then we retested twice. The same way price broke beneath 19,500, we retested and continued to drop. Now we just broke back above and we haven't broken below on the weekly. So to me, this is nothing more than a break and retest to go higher. Unless we break below with another weekly candle in the next 2 days, a bearish weekly candle, all right, cool. We can continue looking for sales to the downside. Maybe, this structure actually does hold out right here, right? The shoulder, the head. We did change retest on the weekly, so this can be something, but until we see more evidence of that happening right here, then I can't ignore the structure. I can't ignore what's going on the 4-hour. I even I told everybody, I'm like, hey, look, we're waiting for the 4-hour change of character to confirm. And we got that. We got that. So last night I dropped a trade in the chat. Let's see if price wants to continue from where we left off. We got a solid like 50 pip push, or 75 pip push. Okay, didn't quite hit the 1 to 3 just yet, right there. But this is what we're looking at. If price comes back down here, the alert is set, but price gave us a setup. The same setup that we saw in the 4-hour, the shoulder, we swept it, we broke above right here, retested, and then price flew. And then over time, around 3 in the morning, price came right back to that same zone to take off a little bit more. Didn't quite hold as much as we wanted it to. That's okay. If we're looking at this here, we do have some consolidation. We swept it. We did break below, but again, this happened right above a buy setup. So this can be used to take price lower, maybe get into these zones again, sweep it again, give us another setup and take off. I don't mind seeing something like that. It doesn't really matter. I know today we have earnings, right? We have earnings with Nvidia. And look, if you know what's good with Nvidia, we know that Nvidia is basically as okay. So once good morning. We got Stephanie in here. Good morning, Grand Rising. And then we got I told you. Okay, I told you. I told you. I told you so. I like that. I like that. Um, I'll be saying that when Nas buys from the zone and flies. I told you. I'm kidding. But we have a lot of people who are, selling Nas very heavily, which, hey, you can do that. Maybe if you were selling up here, it makes sense. Maybe you caught the retest from this imbalance and you sold off. Go ahead. Go ahead. If you see the setup, take it. I'm not here to tell you what you can and cannot do. If you see the setup, take it. I'm not a financial advisor. It's your account. It's your risk, so you can do whatever you want. My opinion is very. I would say it's non-biased because I'm not going off my opinion. I'm going off of the structure of the market on a higher time frame perspective. I'm not really giving you like, okay, well, it says the market is bullish for the past 20 years, but I'm gonna look for sell. Like I'm not doing anything that the market isn't already telling you. It's strictly structure. Again, if you're brand new on the call, you don't know how we trade, you don't know how the big banks and institutions trade. It's all the same. All they do is they look for this setup on the highest time frame possible. Starting with the monthly, we see some consolidation. We see price sweep lows, break above highs, boom, continue. Actually, let me draw it out nicer. If you look at structure, the way that we always look at it, right? Higher highs, higher lows. Higher highs, higher lows. That's what an uptrend looks like, right? But sometimes we see it do this. We see a higher high, and then we see a consolidation. That was ugly. We sweep the lows, boom, continue. Same thing, same thing. Sweep the lows, boom, continue. This happens over and over and over. Same thing as this, same thing as this, but this is more broken down on a technical level of how it actually looks. This is the accumulation schematic, Wyckoff 1 and 2. This is how it's going to actually look. I know I could have done a better job of this right here, but that's essentially how it looks. And then when you draw out your zones, your entry zones, boom, boom. This is how it looks. This is how it looks every single time. We got Fernando in the house. What time is Nvidia? Ooh, I know Oswaldo. I'm not sure if he's on the call. He posted it the other day. Let me check. Nvidia earning. It's gonna be today at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is uh 2 p.m. Pacific time, which is gonna be right when the market closes. So I expect when the market to open after New York session ends and Asian session, Tokyo session, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I expect a gap. It may gap in the market. It may be a gap in the market. And if you look at the previous earnings, it's always beat it. It's always beat it. Let's look at April 2024. Choppy until then. Yeah, if you want to, yeah, choppy. Perhaps it's been chopping up. It's been chopping up, but it has been respecting the structure. If you zoom out just a little bit more, we do have another setup as well. We did have price consolidate here. It was lows and highs, support resistance right here. We did sweep that, and then we finally broke above the highs right over here, which correlates with the 19,500 bull level. We broke above that. In the process, we gave ourselves another setup that we are respecting right in here. So if I see price break above any structure, any level, and we have an inverted setup right at that break of structure, to me that's you know that's buy. That's buy. That just goes off the structure alone. That's not really diving deep into indicators and news, anything like that. It's just straight market structure. Straight market structure. And price is working its way back down to the buy zone. Again, if you didn't plug into the chats, maybe you missed it. It's okay. I'm expecting price in the next 612 in the next 18 minutes to give us an injection of some volatility. I expect there to be some type of liquidity provided or something that's going to move the market pretty quick. And I don't mind it coming into the zone. I don't even mind it clapping these buys and going deeper. It could very well go deeper. That's okay. As long as the stop loss, which is right here, as long as this stays valid and price doesn't close beneath this level with a full body candle, then to me, then I'm still buying. Even if it goes lower, drops lower, that's okay. I'll wait for another setup. I'll wait for another setup inside. Good morning, Chrome. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. We have this right here. It tried to break above, couldn't do it. Came back one last time, finally did that. We came for the retest, went crazy, came back again, retested the same area, but in the process gave another setup. And we just got confirmation on the 4-hour time frame for any of you guys who just joined. You just got to change a character on the 4 hour. I was waiting for this all day yesterday. They tried it twice. They tried it twice, 3 times. I had a wick, pull up, filled the imbalance. Sellers came in, dropped it. One more time, dropped it, but not as low as before. Came back a couple times, finally closed above. Now we're getting that retracement. And let's actually draw a fib right here. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let's take a closer, deeper look. Draw the fib from that low to the highs. Just so happens to be our entry. Just so happens to be around the 382, 50%. So obviously for the fib nerds out there, they look for the 50% and below, 618, all that good stuff. So all this here is valid. Depending on how low it goes, let's see how many pips. Even if it drops like 160 pips, that's fine with me. I would just look for another setup down here to confirm. Wouldn't mind it. But we are diving deeper and getting closer to what we already have marked up from last night. This was another confirmation that price wanted to go higher. During all this chaos, I was looking for more buy setups, which we got one here. If we're not already in the trade, you can wait until the market opens in the next 15 minutes after the volatility comes in and sweeps everyone's stop loss, or you can just get in now once it hits that zone. So when the market does open, maybe price decides to just fly from the zone and doesn't give you a chance to get in. Sheesh, I had that Dark Knight voice going on. Still going on. Crazy work. Crazy work. But we have 14 minutes left. In the meantime, until this alert goes off, if there's any other charts you guys want to take a look at, let me know. Let's look at gold. I keep hearing gold in the chat. People keep talking about gold, Goldilocks. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, look, we did get some confirmations, and the same thing that's happening on gold is happening with NAS. We did break above the previous all-time high. These were previous all-time highs for a while. We finally broke above, so to me, this is a break and retest to continue higher. Until we break back beneath the previous all-time highs, there's no reason to really sell unless, of course, you're doing like counter trend trade and you have, super tight stop loss, and of course you can catch the move down. But again, gold has been bullish since before I would say most of us on this call have been born. So, and they just hit $1 million for the first time for one gold bar. So can you sell? Of course. Of course. A lot of people sold. I know my boy Chris sold. I know Junior sold as well. If you sell, thank you. I'm gonna catch the buys to continue. Right? We can both work together. We can work together. But again, gold has been given the setup here as well. Consolidation, lows and highs. We swept it, and then we broke above right in here. So to me, just looking for more setup down here to take price higher. And I believe we just got the alert on NAS. We're in there. We're in there. We're in there. In there like swimwear. There's 18 minutes left. I mean, there's 12 minutes left. It's 18. I'm gonna personally re-enter. Geez, I had my stop loss at break even. Didn't even hit my stop. Crazy. Oh, it did. All right. It just delayed. Delayed it. Nice. All right. So price is already giving us a solid reaction. 11 minutes. 11 minutes. Let's see what happens. Let's move this over to current price. So far, we're up a nice amount. Nothing crazy. We have 11 minutes left, so we'll see what they want to do. Are we going to dive deeper, tap into this more, even going to the smaller time frames, like the 1 minute? If you want more confirmation, just look for more of the same thing. Look for more of the same thing. If you're skeptical about this, look for the same setup inside of the zone to confirm higher prices. It can be anywhere. Look for this again. If you're like, "Ooh, it's in the zone, but I don't feel comfortable," that's fine. Wait for the setup again. Wait for it again. It's always recommended to do like at least a test trade, 0.01 under leverage. So if price does take off from the entry, you're not gonna have FOMO because you're already in. It may not be what the lot size you want it to, but at least you're in. So then when it does run, if it runs, you're not gonna be like, dang, I missed out. No, you're in there. It may not be to the extent that you want it to, but at least you were safe. At least you were responsible. And then once you see the setup again, then you can enter with your higher lot size. That's like a stress protection tool right there. This is, protect yourself from stress, you know. Let me check on SPX real quick. SPX, I see the same thing. See the same thing right there. The lows that were just swept. That's the high. SPX is in there. If you like SPX, it's in the buy zone. Same as NAS. Boom. And then the overarching setup was here. Those are the lows. These are the highs. And then stop loss down here. And of course, let me see the 4 hour. The 4-hour gave it too on SPX. With these highs, we had to break above right there. The lows down here, stop loss. And again, I'm not doing anything differently than what I showed y'all on the call. The same exact setup every time. If you take a look, the lows, the highs, we swept, broke above with the 4-hour candle, came back into the zone, and as you saw on the smaller time frames, we had the same setup twice for price to go higher. So it's hard to ignore the evidence. There's so much evidence. There's just too much evidence of buying pressure. Like I just can't ignore that. And that's why I like structure because it keeps it non-biased. It's like, all right, it just keeps it like straightforward. Like, okay, this is what it is. I'm not giving you my opinion or some speculation. This is literally what the chart is saying. You know, that's what the chart says. I know someone in the chat was like, "Oh, this motherfucker is selling." I'm like, "Hey, look, the chart says buy. I'm not doing anything wrong." you know. Until further notice, I know people want the market to sell off because 'cause they're like, "Oh, it's too high and it has to sell off and it's ran for 2,000,000 pips. It has to." I'm like, "Yo, I don't know what it has to do. I'm not in charge of the structure. I'm just a participant that gets to watch and take advantage of the movements inside." But as of right now, we have pretty solid reaction off of the zone. We have 7 minutes left. Let's check on US 30. Did US 30 give something? It did. Very similar. Very similar. This is so choppy. It didn't give the 4-hour close though. Did not give the 4-hour close. You still need that on US 30. Maybe US 30 is lagging since SPX and NAS already gave it. Maybe US 30 this time is lagging, which is fine. Sometimes they switch off. I mean, I actually personally I was looking for buys down here on US 30. That's what I really wanted. But when I look at price on the smaller time frame, it seems like it maybe already did that. We had the consolidation, whoop de whoop. We swept the lows. We broke above these highs right in here. And then we did retest as well. And then price flew off. So maybe that was enough. It's still open, it's still valid. I would not mind that right there. Nasty work. That's what happened. That was the change of character. And then price already came back a couple times, took off. So maybe that was enough. We'll see what happens. I know sometimes the pairs lag and switch. And Bitcoin, oh, yeesh. Let me look at Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin has been consolidating for a while, but it's giving us the buy setup. I know people are looking at this and saying, "Oh, Bitcoin is bearish," but when you look at overall, I mean, it's still making higher highs and higher lows. We did break above the previous all-time highs as well, with a full body candle right in there. All it takes is one full body candle. I'm here for it. And once we go down to the daily, I do see buying evidence. The first one was over here. You look at this trap candle or starting point or order block, whatever you want to call it. Price did mitigate beautifully off that, flew up thousands of pips, and now it's giving us the same buy setup right here. Broke above, came all the way lower, didn't invalidate the stop loss because there was no full body candle closing beneath, and then price continued bullish, giving us even more setups on the smaller time frame. I was in this trade for a while. think I got stopped out at break even or something. 1 to 3 didn't hit, but I was in here. I don't know how this possibly. I think it's break even stop loss. That's the only way. Because once price flew, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna have this trade risk free. I put it slightly in profit, it came right back. I was like, okay, let's respect. But it's still valid, still open season. If price ever comes back down here, just boom, get in again until we see any evidence to go against that. Go back to NAS real quick. The market is about to open here in the next 2.5 minutes. Still in the zone, no real action. It just triggered us in the trade. Looking at the 1 minute though. Go to the 5 minute real quick. So far so good. We are flying from the zone. About 12 pips, 10 pips, nothing crazy. It's pushing though. It's pushing. If you check out the line chart, you see we have several. You can use this to your advantage. You have several changes of character there, right there as well. So every time price breaks above one of these levels, it lets us know price wants to continue bullish. That's the one thing I like the line chart for. It does take away some of the noise and the confusion. When you look at the candlesticks, it may be confusing. You may not know like what to look for. But once you look at the line chart, you see there's very clear signs that we broke structure. So for instance, once the price breaks above here, that is more confirmation that price wants to go bullish. So if you are holding any trades and you see that happening, like, okay, cool, I have the confidence to continue to hold because we're breaking structure so many times. And then vice versa. If it doesn't break, then okay, cool, maybe you do break even stop loss, things like that. You see how it's now we're going above this line here. There's 40 seconds left. So very curious to see how price ends up in the next 30 seconds. If we do end up above here, that's more confirmation. Of course, when we do look at the candlesticks, you want to use the wicks. The line chart only uses the body of the candle. Keep that in mind as well. But if this closes above this level, this is more good news. You want the good news or the bad news? Let us know. Let us know. 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Confirmed. Confirmed. Now price is deciding. Oh, it's 6:30. Ah, now it's running. Now it's running for real. Let me delete these. Less clutter. I wonder who was able to get in. Drop like 35 pips. Drop some ones in the chat if you're in here. Move your stop loss to break even. Move your stop loss to break even. If you guys want to take profits at your own risk, go ahead, do what you got to do. It's your account, but we are up over 30 pips here on the call live. If you guys plugged in, of course, the 1 to 3 isn't secured, but one of the first targets is almost hit, which is going to be above any high you see. Anytime you see price break above a higher time frame high, go ahead and okay. So target 1 is hit. Target 2 is going to be above these highs here. Hopefully, you guys were able to get in. If not, it's all good. We have earnings today as well. We may see some more toxicity. We may see some more emotional damage. Price could even come right back down to the buy zone. If price even works its way back down here to where we entered, I'm going to get in again. I have no reason not to, unless we see evidence that the setup is invalidated or it's no longer valid. Okay, cool. Then we can, change the perspective. But until then, there's absolutely no reason why we're not. I really need to see price break above this these highs. That's gonna really that's really gonna lock it in for me to hold this position longer. Really, really gotta see that. Really gotta see that. Yeah, let me know. Let me know in the chat who was able to get in here. I'm not really sure. Adrian Velasquez. Let's go. Let's go, brother. I hope you're in there. If I ever see you in person, just know tacos are on you. Same thing with you, Chris Delgado. You know, asada tacos con todos. Por favor. Need that. Need that. Mm. Steffi, I see you. I see you. All right, so it is playing here above these levels. Very curious. Technically, this is a setup too. Price came to the lows, came to that high, swept the lows, or breaking above to continue. Let's see. I know the 1 minute we did, we broke above with a full body candle, but I always go up one time frame just to see if it's a wick, which it is. If it's a wick, it's just a fake out. So I really need this 5 minute candle to close above. Otherwise, price essentially just taps into this order block here, mitigated to continue, but it's all good. I'm gonna hold my position, standing on business. There's also imbalance here as well, so price is most likely tapping into this to proceed higher. As of right now, it looks like it is. Let me go ahead and mark that up. Imbalance in between here and here. I'll use this one. Let's stick to the original one. Boom. That was the imbalance. It's still open as well. Right, this blue zone here. This is in between these candles. That's where price came in to get more liquidity internally within structure. If you don't know what imbalance is, tap in with us, or ask me now. I'll go more in depth, but that's internal liquidity essentially. There's 1 more minute. There's 25 seconds left. I want to see this 5 minute candle or the next one close above these highs. We need to change the character. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. If you don't get it this candle, maybe the next couple candles, we'll see. The price is really tapping into this imbalance. Make this visible only on this time frame and below. All right, it's coming to lower zones again. Still valid. I'll delete this now just to get rid of it since it already filled the whole imbalance. No reason to have that on there. If you look closely here, this is another setup as well, another inverted. You can't really see. We did have low, high, sweep the lows, break above, retest right there with the wick to push higher. And that was also from this as well, right? Low, high, swept the lows, broke above, retest to go higher. So all this here is still valid. Again, if it goes back into the zone, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and re-enter again. If it didn't already do a break even, stop. Don't worry. This is Nas is very toxic Latinas. Arizona iced tea with hot Cheetos for breakfast. That's Nasdaq. That's Nasdaq right there. We have earnings today as well, so it can get more toxic. Yeah, Chrome knows. Chrome knows. I wish I can pull up the The photo, that had me weak. That had me weak. So if you missed the buys earlier, it's right back in the buy zone. Let me see. Back in there. It's giving y'all another chance. It's giving you another chance. Say, "Hey, I know you missed the last one, but we're back. We're back just for you." Maybe I was hesitating before. I didn't believe it. I can't believe it's not butter. Now the butter is melted. Let's go. Let's go a little bit deeper. You already came back. Come back with a vengeance so we can get a better entry. That would be nice. It keeps playing with the entry. That's okay. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. And it's flying once again. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Are you gonna give us deeper entry, or are you gonna respect the setup here, the smaller time frame, 1 minute setup we have going on? And this is what I mean, like, once you see a setup happen on top of your original setup, like we have here, now you can enter with a higher lot size because now you're risking only, like, 20 pips as opposed to what you were risking before of 46 pips for the whole zone. There we go. All I wanted. Alright, it's deeper in, better, entry zones, and once we look at what's inside of the setup, we have our zone here. Now you can look here for more accuracy. Maybe there's a trap candle or a starting point order block in here. Maybe there's some other lower time frame zones you have in here that can give you a more solid risk to reward somewhere in there. We'll see. See where this goes. I'm curious. Now we're looking for something like this, right? We have the shoulder, the consolidation, and then we swept the lows. We need that change of character here to take us higher. Indices are so toxic, so much divergence. Oh, I bet. I bet. Let me see. SPX. SPX holding it down. EOP. Same thing with US 30 doing its best. We'll see. I'm pretty confident in the buys. I can't. Once the evidence is given, it's like, all right, like you gave me all the evidence. Imagine trying to, book someone for a crime, they spill the beans. Like, yeah, this is what I did. Yeah, and they give you a blueprint and they draw it out. I want to be pretty confident in that case. I could be wrong. You never know. Anything can happen. But if you have all the evidence in front of you, it's like, all right, I'm not gonna not turn this in. You know, I'm not a snitch either. But just in case you were a lawyer, you know. It came a little bit deeper. Give us another chance to re-enter. So if you didn't enter last time and now you're like, "Oh, I didn't enter again," we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that. I gotta talk to you after the call to the side offline. I'm like, all right, sir, um, what's going on? Ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over today? You know why I pulled you over? Because you didn't take the trade. You didn't take the trade. I wonder if anyone got in this time. Did you guys get in this time or did you lose belief? You're like, you know what? It's back in the buy zone. You know, it's going, it's a strong candle. It's a very strong candle. I'm sure the offline is wild. You gotta turn off the signal, turn off the airplane mode. All right, no, I'm kidding. Yo, got in. Let's go. You're in there, Sonia. Let's go. Oh yeah, you were right too. You were right. You were like, oh, we have equal lows, and we got yeah, we got that. We got that. Shout out to Sonia for the smart money perspective. She was like, yo, we have some equal lows here. We could go lower. We can go lower. I'm like, okay, bet. You're right. It can. It definitely can. We actually can. Price came beneath these lows right here, equal lows. Liquidity as well. We swept it. Boom. After that sweep, we got the change of character. So boom. There you go. There you go. It's more confirmation. Once I saw that yesterday, I'm like, oh yeah. I saw that sweep and we just pushed all the way back up. I'm like, oh, I like that. I like that. Sign me up. Sign me up for the deluxe. All right, what's happening here in the 1 minute? We need we need the confirmation. We need to break above this high. Not with the wick, but with the full body candle. That'll tell us price wants to go higher. If it doesn't do that, then we may go lower. We need Fernando got it again, but we're still in the buy zone. So it's all valid. But we need this shoulder. We swept it just now. We need that full body candle to confirm you want to go higher. That's all we're looking for right now is that setup. That's going to give us more evidence. We're looking for this. It may not always look as clean as this. It may be choppy. It may not look as clean, but as long as overall this is happening, we need that to happen here, 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 somewhere in here. All we can do is wait. We just swept more lows. Let's see. All right, prices pushing all the way down. I'm still gonna be in here. Still gonna be in here. The stop loss is all the way. Let's go, Krista. Stop loss is here. So as long as we're holding this structure, anything that happens in here is just gonna give us more confidence that this is the actual structure. So we're waiting in there. Another mini version of that is right here as well. It's another confirmation. I'm gonna stand on business. I'm gonna hold my position. We did this stop loss here, but it was with the wick, with no full body candle. So for y'all, y'all are getting super discounted entries. Y'all are getting more than 50% off. You're getting like 90% off at this point. Right? I know when like your favorite shoes or clothes go on sale, you're running to the door at that discount. But once the market gives you the discount, you're oh no, oh I don't know. Like you gotta have the same energy. Keep that same energy. I know I do. I'm like, okay, bet. Do it. I dare you. Go lower. We're just gonna get in lower. Hmm. Still in here. See. Again, now we're just waiting for more. We need actually let's move this over here. Adjust. Now we're waiting for this. Price consolidated, gave us a low, gave us the high, we swept it. Now we need this. Again, just the same thing. And again, we do have earnings later on today. So from the past earnings reports, Nvidia has been 19.5. Nvidia has been outperforming the earnings every single time. So when that happens, price usually rallies. Market wants to shake us. It does. It does. Market is shaking people every day, especially indices. Back at 19.5, I like that. Hmm, I'll take it. I'll take it. It's been holding here for a while. And again, consolidation, swept the lows, broke above. To me, this is all just noise for retest to go higher. 648. Let's look at the hourly candle. It's been about an hour. Some nasty work. We came to fill this imbalance right in here, and then price, after filling this imbalance, took a nosedive, deep dive into our zones. Go back to the 1 minute. Again, we're waiting for the setup to happen once more. Let me see what happened with SPX. SPX, not too much. And then US 30 is flying right now. Okay, I like that. I like that. Maybe Nas wants to sell off before earnings because they know price is gonna fly with earnings. So like, okay, let me just sell it one more time. Let's shake as many people out as possible before we take this to the next level. That's how I see it. Maybe there's more zones over here that price wants to attack, but I don't really like to speculate. I just want to see the structure. Whatever the structure says, whatever the structure is giving, I'll take it. So if it wants to give us the setup, go right ahead. If not, we're going to take it lower. We need this change of character right in there. And I'm sure as price develops, you may give us more confirmation as it does work its way up as well. I had it pending at 19,480. Yeah, US 30 is running. US 30 is running. What's at 19,480? Reggie, is that like an order block and balance? Is that a setup? I'm just watching it on the 1 minute now. Just want to see what develops out of this. You see line chart real quick. You can even use this. You need to change a character right here. Was that the final sweep, or we're gonna continue lower? We had this low, the high, swept the lows. Are we gonna break above here and then take off to then give us the rest of what we need? Or do we just continue lower and just keep crushing your hopes and dreams and like, golly, which one is it? Which one is it? Gotta be resilient, stand on business. See, 20 seconds. What happens? What's gonna happen in this next 20 seconds? The US 30 is running. US 30 ran off, broke above these highs. That's a buy confirmation. SPX is trying to figure out its life. Not as low as NAS though. And NAS is like, still being toxic. Tank. I don't know about Tank. Maybe this. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys see the structure here. You have the 4 hour structure. The shoulder here. We swept the lows, broke above the highs. So all this is valid for buy. We were just zoomed in on the 1 minute, trying to find more entries to take. But until the stop loss right here gets clipped or clapped, I wouldn't sell or marry the sells. I mean, yeah, you can sell, do whatever you want, but I wouldn't like marry the sells unless we see a change of character here. Like we need to see consolidation. We swept the highs, and then we have to break beneath these lows. Then that'll tell me, okay, maybe price wants to go lower. Until that happens, I'm not gonna switch the bias because we're inside of the accumulation schematic. Wyckoff. This is the accumulation schematic. So me personally, I wouldn't do it, even though it's going lower. But that's how the market gets people to change their bias. They'll sell it very aggressively and like, oh, now I'm selling. Oh, and then all of a sudden it starts to buy. And you're like, damn, I should have just held my buy. And then boom, now you're confused and you don't know what's going on. That's exactly how smart money works. That's exactly what the institutions do on purpose to get people to switch. Oh, I'm buying. Oh, no, I'm selling. Oh, no, I'm buying. Oh, no. And it's like, bro, like, what are you doing? Are you gonna stick to one? Or are you going back and forth? I was the same way. Trust me. Everything I'm saying, that was me. But I've learned to like, hey, just stick to the script, stick to the trend. It just saves you a lot of headache. A lot of headache. Let me move this up here. Oh, oh there. We need that. Once we get that, it's wraps. So, okay. We had the low with that wick. Okay, and then we had the high with this wick. We just swept the lows. If and when we do break above these highs, then that's confirmation. Take us to the next level. Take us to the next level. And then we get this change of character, then we get this one, and then this one. It'll just keep overlapping. And I'm okay with that. And of course, we have NVIDIA earnings later. So, if NVIDIA is basically NAS, then at this point, it's like, okay, if NVIDIA goes up, we go up. And I looked into it. NVIDIA is like the leading company in AI technology development. They're going to keep going up. If AI is the future and everyone's using AI, and NVIDIA is Main company in the entire world producing the chips and components. I don't see why it wouldn't continue to go to the moon unless some crazy Terminator 16 episode 12 happens, then yeah, but until then, we're good, which I believe it. I mean, Terminator, I believe something like that can happen with the AI. I've seen too many movies. I've seen way too many movies. It's like, oh, alright, this looks promising, so let me go ahead and mark up the stop loss here. This is this area where most people probably would have got out. A lot of people probably exited their positions and lost confidence and faith. We'll see what happens. 15 seconds. Are we gonna get the change of character or not? Mark it up as if we did, 'cause it may happen on the next candle. Very good close. I do like that a lot. You can almost see it with the line chart. But if this happens, this will be your entry at the change of character. Stop loss would be here. And then you're doing your 1 to 3. If you're risking 35, plus 3 times 30, 90 plus 15, that's 105. That's how I do my math. So it's looking promising. It's not confirmed yet. It's very premature. We need a full body candle close right here. Not a wick, but we need the full body. See what happens. The last minute of the call, ladies and gentlemen, it'll be pretty sick if you get the full body candle close in the last minute, and then you guys know your entry, your stop loss. You're risking about 35 pips to make 105, or you can ride it out until the next change of character here or the one there. If you want to screenshot this, go right ahead. But this is what we're looking at currently. We really need to see a full body candle here. If not, if this doesn't happen, then of course price will go lower. But if you do see it, that's confirmation that price wants to continue in a bullish sentiment. There's 5 seconds left. I'll, I'll wait. I'll wait. Gotta wait. I'll feel more comfortable ending the call knowing that, okay, I left you guys with another setup. Hmm. Yeah, counter trend traders, they did eat 100%. But for how long? For how long? All right, that got swept. It didn't give us the confirmation. And look, this can happen all the way until earnings. We can continue this movement until earnings. Stop loss, we have some space all the way down here. I'm just gonna be patient. I'm not gonna rush the process. Keep an eye out on for yourself as well. Once you see it, once you see the setup, you know what time it is. Over here, let's see, keep the weekly imbalance. See the weekly imbalance. Yeah, we do have a weekly imbalance, don't get me wrong. We have a huge imbalance on the weekly. All this right here. There's 2 days and 7 hours left, so we could tap into this as well. Definitely could if you draw the fib from the lows to the highs. Of course, we're looking for that discount price. I know, let me see. Let me take this off. I have this marked up here. Around the 50%, price could come lower into these zones. Obviously, those will be better buys, but until I see confirmation of that, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna risk it, to be honest. Even if it does go lower, that's fine. I'll take lower entries. See, I'm just following the structure as of right now. We are above the monthly open. We are in this 4-hour inverted setup. I don't allow price movement to like shake me or change my bias. I stick to what I see. And again, if you go to the 4-hour and look where we are currently, we are in a buy zone. This is an and like you can't tell me that this isn't a buy zone. You can't. Like we have the shoulder, the head, we swept it, we tested, went off. Now we're back here in the same area. Until this gets violated, it just would not make sense to sell. You would be selling inside of the buy zone, which to me, that's what I used to do. I would snipe the trade, but in the opposite direction. All right, so price is looking like it wants to possibly give us a new change of character. Again, we would need the low, the high, swept the lows, break above. If and when this happens, we don't know when it's gonna happen now, it's gonna happen in the next couple of minutes, we don't know. But it's forming. And of course, you can argue the cells as well, the cell setup, but I'm not gonna go against it. We're still here. We're still holding. Oh, this right here, Reggie, the same exact thing. Let's go. It's not confirmed yet. No news today. No liquidity. Yeah, the earnings is today though, right? I know it was today. Yeah, after hours, that's fine. After hours, that's when things get freaky. And then when the market opens at 3, you see that gap. Very curious. I just want to see this before it's still not confirmed or this is what he taught me. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And the reason why I'm just go back to the 4-hour. That's why I'm standing on business the way I am is because I would need this to get invalidated. I would need all this to be validated for me to switch to sells to then go lower, but then I would just buy down here. And if not that, then there's more buys down there. But yeah, patience. Patience is a virtue. But there is a call right now with one of our educators. He's going live as well at the same time. I want to see his perspective as well. Always got to be a student. Let me see Lewis 30 one more time. Yeah, Lewis 30 is beautiful. Yeah, struggling. But yeah, if you were on the call earlier, we caught a nice 30 pips, right? We have a lot of toxicity today. No worries though. We'll be back. We'll be back next week. Well, tomorrow as well, but we'll be back next week for you guys on the call. Again, make sure you guys understand the structure. stand on business until we see this get violated. The last thing that you wanna do is switch to sales, and then you're selling, and it just goes crazy, just goes to the moon. So make sure you guys are looking at the structure, understanding the macro perspective and the micro perspective. Let's see. Alright, that's gonna be it for me. Hope you guys got some value. I'll see you guys next week. Let's get it.